We didn't do a mic check.
It's fine.
What about this? What about right now?
What about this? What about right now?
And oop.
Okay. So Lennox recently got invited to two birthday parties. Two of his friends' birthday parties. He declined both. First of all, to be in a position, being that liked, that popular, that cool, being invited to two birthday parties and saying, nah, man.
I'm good.
Miss me with that invite. Hard pass. Back in the day, any invitation to a party as a middle schooler and or high schooler I could get to. Like, I didn't know the kids half the time. I barely knew anyone. And I would just glom onto some conversation. And I'm thinking one in particular, this kid named Lance. So Lance was talking to Eric. And we're all like friends, acquaintances in the same class, whatever. And Lance and Eric were talking right next to me. And they were talking about Lance's birthday party. And I was like, hey, what are you guys talking about? And Lance was like, oh, we're talking about my birthday party. And he like, for whatever reason, he's like, do you want to go? And I was like, sure. But I barely knew Lance. I barely knew Eric, with a K, by the way. But I was like, I'm. It's either this or watching Family Matters with my mom and stepdad, watching Step by Step.
Well, that sounds fun.
Suzanne Summers and Patrick Duffy, honey, and sitcom hijinks. But I remember going to Lance's birthday party. It was at a bowling alley, and I didn't belong there. I barely knew the kid, but I was like, oh, I'm happy to do it. I will do anything to get arrested, as the saying goes. But to be Lennox and just be so cool, like he's like Leo DiCaprio saying, oh, I won't go to this club tonight. I won't go to that club tonight. He's getting 38 invites to parties and discotheques. But so there were formal invitations. They were paper invitations. And it said RSVP by a certain date. And what happened from here, honey?
So I didn't RSVP immediately.
Yeah.
Therefore, I completely forgot.
Yeah.
It's just like if you don't reply to a text immediately, it's out of your mind. That's how I am. So every now and then I would think about it. Oh yeah, I got to look at that. I got to do that. So finally I look at the party that I knew was the first one to happen.
Yeah.
I look at it. The party happened a week ago. So not only did I not RSVP, I missed the entire party.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to go anyway, but I didn't tell this mom that he wasn't going.
Yeah.
And this lady, I just met her recently for the first time.
Yeah.
And we really like the kid. We've met him.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that these people would become friends. And I was hoping that Lennox and this boy would like become better friends.
Yeah.
And now I've just totally ruined it. I totally ghosted her. Yeah. I didn't say yes. I didn't say no. I was so rude.
Yeah.
Terrible etiquette.
Yeah.
I feel like we have no hope of being friends with them now.
Yeah. If you if you didn't know the parents and you didn't care about them, or it wasn't a big deal, if your ultimate goal wasn't to make a friend, I'd say don't worry about RSVPing. Well, during the process, I'd be like, who cares? Like, not RSVPing is saying I'm not going to go. Now, if you were to not RSVP and then show up, then it'd be like, oh, we thought 6 kids were going to come and now there's 18.
Well, that's just weird, showing up without RSVPing.
Yeah. But I think not RSVPing, that's fine.
I feel so rude.
Yeah. There is that element. Yeah.
I do have ulterior motives. It's true.
Yeah.
And we've had a face-to-face. We've met a couple times, had that connection.
Yeah. You and the mom.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And now I severed that connection.
But then the second birthday party, you politely declined. What was the phraseology, or what was the excuse?
I RSVP'd the night of the last day that you're supposed to RSVP by. So I got in right under the limit there.
One could think that just not saying anything and letting it go by the wayside was the preferable mood. But what did you say? Or
I just said he can't come. Unfortunately, we have a family thing that day.
Did we have a family thing that day? Oh,
yes.
I'm exposing you.
And oop.
You been hearing this baby?
I thought it was a cat.
A cat in heat?
And oop.
Okay, so we went through a ketchup bottle recently. Lennox likes ketchup with his chicken tendies and fish sticks and sliders. And well, he's a ketchup.
It's his condiment of choice.
He's a ketchup kind of guy. And so the ketchup bottle was empty, and you asked me, is this trash or recycling? And I said recycling.
Yeah, because you're very persnickety about what gets in the recycling can.
Yeah.
We recently had a family meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Where we did a whole activity.
Yeah.
Of what goes in trash, what goes in recycling. Yeah.
Well, I found a few Yoo-hoo boxes, the box drink, the package, the yellow box, and a few ramen instant noodle cups in the trash, and I was beside myself. Well, spoiler alert, 85% of recycling goes to the trash, so it's all a big charade.
That's what I'm saying.
But so you had an empty ketchup bottle. I said it goes in the recycling, and then you proceeded to fill it up with water. And go through your methodology, honey. When did you start doing this? The purpose, please.
Yeah. There's remnants of ketchup in the bottle.
Absolutely.
So you fill it with some water, put the cap back on, shake, and then you pour it out the sink. So you rinse it out a little bit before you put it in the recycling bin.
When you first did that, I thought, oh, you're like how you if you have a little bit of milk, throw some water in there, shake, and then hey, I got another cup of milk. I thought you were gonna magically come up with more ketchup. But so your thinking is that it's a clean bottle.
I'm thinking of the workers who have to sort through the trash and handle this old nasty food and containers.
Yeah.
And oop.
A terrible job, no doubt, honey. But I think you washing a bottle of ketchup, I don't see the end result. I don't see the point.
I just feel better sending my trash off to the recycling center a little bit clean, a little shiny. Yeah. It takes a few seconds. Yeah. I first recall my mom doing this when I was a kid. I remember her rinsing out. She used to rinse out the milk jug. Then she would use her hip and squish it against the counter to flatten it.
Nice.
And I used to do that move myself.
I want to see that.
I've kind of gotten lazy. I just put the milk container in the recycling bin without squishing it flat. Yeah. I'll show you sometime. I'll do it next time.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking TikTok life hack, honey. Okay, so it started with lizard lips Fisher. I appreciate the virtue signaling or the slight. I mean the trash workers or whatever, disposal people, they deal with 9 million disgusting pieces of garbage a day.
I know.
And one bottle of ketchup. But, I mean, it's fine if you want to do that.
I feel so much better.
Yeah.
I feel more at ease and at peace if I rinse it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if there's food globs and ketchup remnants, I think it belongs in the trash.
Yeah.
You shouldn't send it to the recycle unless it's
clean,
in good form.
So you think we should put ketchup bottles in the dishwasher, run it the cycle, make everything pristine and beautiful? Well, I think it just goes by a conveyor belt, and then it goes into much like Toy Story 4, where Woody almost went into the fire with all those other toys.
Yeah,
it just goes into some sort of compacting system. Waste system, and then it ends up recycle a 2-liter bottle or whatever.
I wonder, how do they get the food off? They don't?
It's part of it.
They just put it in the trash.
Yeah,
it's not actually getting recycled.
Yeah, in the end, yes, that's what happens. Okay, so speaking of Lennox, so we recently started buying chicken sliders, like the frozen kind. And you cook them, and they're fantastic. We've bought in the small, like White Castle size, and then the larger, like McChicken or whatever, Popeye's chicken sandwich size. And they're really good. Lennox loves them. I've had a couple. They're
surprisingly good for a frozen sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. But you were preparing them, and I was observing you. And walk me / us through the preparation of a frozen chicken sandwich, honey. These ones specifically.
For whatever reason, the instructions were super complicated. There was like 10 steps to microwaving this little frozen bun and frozen patty.
Yeah.
So first of all, you have to take the piece of chicken out. You microwave that by itself on a plate.
Okay.
For 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Then you wrap each bun. There's 2 buns, top and bottom. You wrap each one in a paper towel.
Yes.
And then you
this was blowing my mind.
And then you put those in the microwave for 30 to 35 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you take them out, and then you assemble the sandwich.
Sure.
I might be missing some steps because I think that was even a shortcut of what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah. So it took forever. I had these all laid out on the counter because I was trying to make like 6 of them.
Yeah, you had an assembly line. You were like Chick-fil-A or whatever.
I used so many paper towels for this little process, and it took forever. Yeah. But it turned out good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It turned out good. When it came time, like I wanted one, so I ate one. I was like, I'm just going to throw this gosh dang chicken sandwich into the microwave, and it looks like it would take about 50 seconds to cook, so a 5-0 start, and 50 seconds past, comes out, it's out of this world. I was like, why would they complicate things?
You just put the whole sandwich?
Yeah.
Bun, meat, bun.
Yeah.
What about the rules?
I know. Breaking rules. Well, all these microwave instructions, like the ones where cut a slit in the film, and then it's like, well, I have a fork because I'm going to eat this with a fork, but I don't want to dirty a knife to cut the slit in the film, so I turn the knife upside down and I jam it.
You could just stab the fork prongs.
Yeah, that's true. Although, but with spoons, it's more difficult. Yeah. I turn those around too, and with the butt of the spoon, I slit the film. But there's lots of microwave foods like pull back after 3 minutes, pull back the film, stir it, put back the film, and then put it back in for 2 more minutes, or flip it upside down after 2 minutes.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah, when you got to flip over halfway through.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that.
Yeah. It's like, dude, it's nonsense. Especially with some toaster oven directions. Say, flip the hash browns halfway through. No. It's a toaster oven. It's getting everywhere. It's getting all in the nooks and crannies. It's fine. The chicken sliders, hecka bussin'. And now you just throw them in the... You throw caution to the wind. You live your life with reckless abandon. You saw me.
I saw it work for you.
Yeah.
And I wanted what you had.
Yeah. So. My mojo.
They're good.
Yeah. Now you just throw them in the in the microwave, and they're turning out fine. Yeah, I don't know why Tyson is out here trying to make our lives difficult.
They want you to work for your chicken slider.
Yeah, I guess.
And oop.
Okay. We have a local unhoused gentleman. We refer to him as Homeless Jesus because he has really long hair and he has a beard. And
he wanders the streets.
Yes. And he cuts fish and loaves into he feeds thousands. But he's had a musty Volkswagen van that's parked on the street we drive to get into our condo complex. And it's been there for a year plus, dang near 2 years. And before Homeless Jesus, HJ for short, he used to park it there, but then he would move it. It would be gone. He
would be gone for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
So we thought he was just roaming California, or he was a traveling man.
Yeah. Or he just didn't want to arouse suspicion, and he knows that people might call the popo on him if he sits. His van sits there for a few months.
Sometimes it would be parked down the street, around the corner.
Yeah, but it literally hasn't moved for a year and 3/4, almost 2 years, and I obsess over it. Like every day, I look at it, I'm like, "Why, HJ? Why?" And thankfully, we don't have to look at it. But there's houses worth $700,000 that have to look at it every day.
Yeah.
And if I lived in one of those houses, I would just stare. out the living room window and be like, "Get out of here, HJ. Move on. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here." And so it's sitting there, and I don't know how, I don't know why people haven't called the popo or code or parking or whatever authorities deal with this matter. But the other day, coming in, HJ has a ticket on his windshield, so he got a notice, an eviction notice.
It was like a big orange.
Yeah.
It looked similar to like what we get here in the condo if you park in a spot you're not supposed to be in.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah.
So it had that look about it.
Yeah.
You could tell it was like a parking thing.
Yeah. And then, lo and behold, 48 hours later, it's gone. The van
is there.
The van remains, but the ticket, the notice, is gone. So I imagine he just ripped it up and threw it into the wind. Although HJ, he's not a litterer. He doesn't seem like a litterer. He probably tossed it and then threw it into a refuse receptacle. But I wonder if he's gonna move now.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, is he gonna go back to his old kind of
And oop.
I can't think of the word. Nomadic.
gypsy ways?
No, that's offensive.
Please don't cancel me for saying that. Nomadic, I mean. Is he gonna go back to that? But it's been 72 hours since the notice has appeared, and his van's still there.
So I thought he would get towed, but maybe he just gets a fine.
Yeah. Well, if you don't respond and or you have no money to pay the fine, then what happens? I don't know.
You know, it's a nice looking van. It's kind of it's in good shape.
It's got that 70s Volkswagen, like, family camper.
Yeah, the windows have curtains, like floral 70s style curtains.
Yeah.
It looks like a fun thing to take a road trip in.
Well, it just bothers me that it sits there.
I know.
It has not moved an inch in almost 2 years, and I'm just like, dude, like, this is how it starts. This is everything is a slippery slope, and this is the first step, and the next thing you know, Roseville Road or Alhambra Boulevard.
Something is happening now.
Yeah.
The action has started. The wheels are turning.
Yes, the wheels of justice are in motion, and I don't want HJ to suffer or be put out. I want him to find a nice street, a nice friendly street, maybe across South River Road on the other side of Jefferson Boulevard or something.
Out of our sight.
Yeah, just for a couple of months. Like, give us a break.
You can come back.
Come on back. Just we need a little break. Little breaky.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes. We'll miss your long hair. We'll miss your Uggs that may or may not be a knockoff. And we'll miss watching you walk around aimlessly. He's got gorgeous hair. It is long.
Yeah.
It is probably thin. He's not. He doesn't have Vidal Sassoon, I'm guessing.
He looks healthy though.
Yeah.
He conditions.
Yeah. But well, we'll keep you updated, fam.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I hope whatever happens, it's not bad. Like, he doesn't start piling up fines. You know what? The van might not run, dude. It hasn't run.
That's what I'm thinking too.
A year plus. So that becomes the whole thing. Like, dude, I drive all over Sacramento and I see, like, homeless dudes working on their cars. Like, I'll see a guy working on his car on a Monday and it's obviously completely bombed out. It does not run. And then Friday, at the end of the week, I'll drive by the same homeless guy working on his car. And I'm like, dude. But I hope HJ finds a camp or a solace, a nice place to park, and then come back. We missed you, Brew. How was the other side of Jefferson?
You'll welcome him back with open arms.
How are the families over there? How's the McDonald's as opposed to our McDonald's? Alrighty, well, are we done, honey?
Yes.
Okay, we're done. Au revoir.